Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to our council meeting tonight. We call the roll, please.
Bachman.
Here.
Henning.
Here.
Gorman.
Here.
Merkel.
Here.
Kelly. Here. Lieberman. And Stevens.
Here.
I move we excuse Dennis, he's out of town.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gorman to excuse Mr. Lieberman, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, Dennis is excused. We knew in advance he would not be here, so. Okay, the first item on our agenda is our Spring VIP Award presentation. So if I could have Beth Kramer step up to the podium, please.
So real briefly, as everyone knows, we always do our seasonal VIPs. There are beautification awards. Property owners are able to be nominated. They can nominate themselves, friends and family. Really, the goal of the whole project is to nominate and to bring awareness to people that are going over and beyond beautifying their properties and bringing positive images of the city out to the forefront. So this past spring, we had numerous properties nominated for the Spring VIP, and it is my pleasure to give this to the mayor, and I'll let him take over to announce our winners.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
To Craig and Beth Kramer, I want to say congratulations on the nomination and winning. We appreciate your diligence in keeping your property up. It helps all of, all the neighborhood, all of our whole city. It's really an honor to be nominated and also selected, so we appreciate you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Appreciate
Yes,
it.
thank
Sorry my
you.
husband couldn't be here.
Oh, that's all right. So you get a plaque for yourself, and you get a yard sign.
Okay.
Clayton Spring VIP winner 2023. So, okay, so if we could just get a picture with Jack, if you'll hold that plaque up. There you go. All right,
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks for coming and
Appreciate
good job. They're at 7462 Elrue if you want to drive by and look at the house. So we appreciate everything that they did. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is our clerk's report.
Okay, you have before you the council meeting minutes of July 20th, 2023.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the report as written by Mr. Gorman and second by Mr. Henning. I forgot which one did it. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that that's approved as written. We don't have any old business tonight. We do have some new business. I'm going to have Amanda say a few words first.
Before we start new business, Mayor and Council, before you have an ordinance that establishes salaries for elected officials. If you'll remember, in February of 2023, we convened a council salary commission to review council salaries. They did make a recommendation for an increase for council members from $4,800 a year to $4,896 per year, and the mayor from $7,200 a year to $7,344 a year. And then they also recommended increasing the clerk's salary from $7,500 a year to $8,250 a year. The council member salary and the mayor's salary, that has to be passed by ordinance and is required to be done so by September 1st of an odd number year. So we have to have it done by September 1st, 2023, if that's what council chooses to do. We cannot pass that as an emergency, so we need to bring it tonight for 2 readings. The clerk salary is not governed by that, so if council decides you don't want to do a council salary increase but still want to do a clerk salary increase, you can just direct me at the beginning of the year when we do salaries to change the salary to that. And with that, I will answer any questions that you might have, or you can make the decision to either add this to the agenda tonight to vote on, or just leave it off.
I'll just give you my thoughts, and if anyone feels differently, or if everyone feels differently, then we'll go with the majority here. I would recommend that council member and mayor stays the same, and that our clerk gets the increase.
I would second that because I don't think it's worth the bad PR that we could get for $8 a month. Just having people say that we voted ourselves a salary for an extra $8 a month just seems silly, but I would obviously support increasing the clerk of council, since she does a lot of work for us outside of these city council meetings.
I agree. I think the clerk should be awarded for her hard work, and she does a lot of extra work, and we appreciate her. And I think that council should just stay the same.
What do we have to do, Martina? Make a motion?
You don't have to do anything if you don't want to add the
I
ordinance.
want to change it.
Yeah, just, it'll stay the same.
You don't have to do anything. If council is saying to increase the clerk's salary to what the salary commission recommended, that's what I'll do in January.
Greg?
I'm just in favor of doing the clerk's increase. The council doesn't need more money.
Brendan? You good? Tim, you're good? Okay, that's it.
25 years I haven't had a salary. Why do I want one now?
That's right. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Okay, so we have 7 ordinances on the agenda tonight under new business. Will you read the first ordinance, please?
Ordinance O-08-2313, an ordinance adopting estimated assessments and certifying unpaid charges for 2023-2024 curb and gutter repair replacement work to the Montgomery County Auditor for collection with real estate taxes in 5 annual installments.
Mr.
I'll move
Schweitzer?
for approval.
Evening. Don't worry, Kenny, I would have taxed you $10, so you would have lost money.
Exactly.
So all the ordinances I have tonight are for assessing to the property taxes, what we do every year. This first one's for the curb and gutters, where people had work done and their total was $2,500 or less. So we have about almost $40,000 we'll be assessing that they repay over 5 years.
Tim?
I move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve, motion to approve, did you read the ordinance?
Yeah.
Okay. Motion to approve the ordinance as written by Mr. Gorman, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that that is unanimous. Will you read the second ordinance, please?
Ordinance O-08-2314, an ordinance adopting estimated assessments and certifying unpaid charges for 2023-2024 curb and gutter repair replacement work to the Montgomery County Auditor for collection with real estate taxes in 10 annual installments.
And these are for the curb work that was in excess of $2,500. So there's about $14,000 worth of work to assess to be paid over 10 years.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the ordinance as written by Mr. Gorman, second by Mr. Merkel. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, thank you. Will you read the next ordinance, please?
Ordinance O-08-2315, an ordinance certifying unpaid charges for grass weed cutting for 2023-2024 to the Montgomery County Auditor for collection with real estate taxes.
We got about $20,000 worth of charges where we had to go and cut grass or weeds from individuals that were not maintaining their property.
I'll move for approval, but the only thing I would add to that is I understand when residents may fall on hard times and are injured, et cetera, and I know that they reach out to the city and try to figure out whatever type of assistance they need. But a lot of this is just residents who don't care about their yard, and they're in a lot of my area, Ward 2, properties that make beautiful properties, like the lady who was awarded tonight, it makes their properties not look good. And I mean, I have a property near my house that's like that, and it is frustrating. So thank you, Amanda and Martina and Jack and Daryl, for staying on top of this, because that's probably from May until October. One of the number one inquiries I get is, our neighbor's yard looks bad. The city is not doing anything about it, and I know Daryl can only do so much. But I did want to just thank them for their work on that. And I would obviously like to stay aggressive with it to make sure, especially this Ward 2 area where it's heavy residential, the yards do look well and people are proud of their community. So that's all I have.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Henning to pass the ordinance as written, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that that ordinance is passed unanimously. Will you please read the fourth ordinance, please?
Ordinance 008-2316, an ordinance to maintain lighting assessment.
We have 13 lighting districts within the city. This just assesses the properties for the streetlights.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the ordinance as written by Mr. Henning, second by Mr. Gorman. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that it was passed unanimously. Will you read the fifth ordinance, please?
Ordinance 008-2317, an ordinance authorizing the submission of the 2023-2024 North Clayton Community Authority charge assessments to the Montgomery County Auditor.
We have about $10,000 worth of community charges that are annual charges that the owners did not pay, so they'll go on their taxes.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Are these for the properties that are under Windsor for
For
development?
the majority, yes. I did talk with the owner's wife, called me, and wanted to know why she got a bill this year. She goes, "We never paid these in the past." I'm like, "I know, that's why I'm always assessing them until your taxes." So they're aware that they had a bill to pay, but they did not.
But then they pay their taxes.
Yeah.
Okay, the motion was made to accept by Mr. Gorman, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that that ordinance also passed unanimously. Will you read the sixth ordinance, please?
Ordinance 008-2318, an ordinance certifying unpaid charges for nuisance assessments for 2023-2024 to the Montgomery County Auditor for collection with real estate taxes.
So we have about $4,500 worth of nuisance charges where we had to go out and pick up debris, trash, and haul it down to the county incinerator. And some people have paid their bills, others haven't, so that's why we're assessing that to their property.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve as written by Mr. Gorman, second by Mr. Henning. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let the record show that passed unanimously also. Will you read the seventh and final ordinance?
Ordinance 008-2319, an ordinance to impose assessments upon owners of real property in arrears for payment of fees for waste hauling and disposal services for 2023-2024.
Now, this is from our contract with Republic. We have about $63,000 of unpaid bills. The residents do receive quarterly bills as well as letters that we send out before we go through this process, informing them of what the delinquent amount is and giving them the opportunity to pay. So these will be assessed to their property taxes as well.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve the ordinance as written by Mr. Henning.
Just have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Kevin, the $63,000, is that monies that the city has paid out?
Yeah, in our contract, we have to make the Republic whole, so then it's up to us to collect the delinquencies.
So we're out $63,000 until these people pay?
Correct.
So we get that money back like when they sell the house or
Pay the taxes.
Pay the taxes? Okay, it was made by Mr. Gorman, second by Ms. Kelly. Made by Mr. Henning, second by Ms. Kelly. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, let the record show that that passed unanimously also. Next on the agenda is the city manager's report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a few items for you this evening. First, a few city events. We have Movie in the Park scheduled for August 18th at 8:30 p.m. at Meadowbrook at Clayton. It's free to all community members if you'd like to come out. And popcorn is being provided by Inglewood Cinema, which was very nice of them. Our Labor Day Fireworks and Festival will be held on Sunday, September 3rd. Then we have free hot dogs, cotton candy, snow cones, and popcorn, entertainment by Northmont's music program, free face painting and a bounce house, and fireworks start at 9 p.m. And then we also at Meadowbrook have Couples Pizza and Pars at Meadowbrook. On Sunday, September 10th at 4 p.m., couples will enjoy a 9-hole golf scramble, pizza dinner, and drinks on the patio after golf. The cost is $43, but everything is included in that cost. Just a reminder that we have the Inglewood's Arts Festival on August 12th. Our lineup time, I'll send it out tomorrow, and the coordination there. We'll coordinate, and everyone can ride together from here if you'd like. If you will remember, we had a request from a property owner in Inglewood who wanted to annex into the city. He made the decision he didn't want to and submitted to the Inglewood Planning Board for a residential development. That meeting was this evening, and I've been informed that that plan did not go through. And then we still have an open seat on the Parks Advisory Commission. If anybody would like to participate, you can submit your email or your letter of interest to me, and I can get that to council. Or if council members have anyone they know that would like to participate, we're just going to leave the position open until it's filled and continue to advertise it. And that's all I have for you this evening.
Amanda, the only thing I would add is I know we have some residents here tonight. I know a lot will probably try to watch this online. I know some residents that couldn't make it tonight. I think your couple sentences in the LRU requested extension paragraph are important to read, if you don't mind, so anyone that watches this online can know where our staff stands. Staff denied the request to connect LRU in the city of Clayton to the city of Inglewood. This would have essentially turned LRU, Hillgrove, and Savannah into through streets to Main Street, bringing additional traffic and maintenance to our residential streets. I know that that was a lot of the concerns we as council were getting last week, and when I spoke with you, I think on Wednesday or Thursday, whenever the residents started to get the letters, it was a very big concern, especially since we have just done great infrastructure improvements back there. So I just wanted to say thank you to staff for letting them know we had no interest in connecting that to LRU. We appreciate it.
Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, I have a question, Amanda. What time is the parade next Saturday?
I think it starts at 9 a.m., but lineup is around 8.
Should have told us that before we signed up for it.
Anything else for the city manager? Okay, so we're going to move to visitors' comments. First of all, I'm glad we have a lot of visitors here tonight, and I'm going to go by, I'll call everyone's name, and if you want to speak, you speak. If you don't, that's fine. We'll go in order. Chris and Deb Polis.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for allowing us just a few minutes to speak. I'm Debbie Poulis. I live on Oakfield Drive. I am here to talk about fireworks. I've lived in Clayton for 35 years. This 4th of July was probably the most I've seen fireworks in 35 years. It was at an all-time high. If you're familiar with Ohio's new fireworks law for consumers, I have a copy here that I'll leave that you can make copies for everyone. I think it's important that you read it. The new fireworks law for consumers allows for up to 20 days of setting off fireworks in neighborhoods and discharge locations that are unable to be controlled. People's yards, streets, those are the two primary locations that I've seen fireworks. These are private people, not public displays. Local political subdivisions can ban the use of or restrict within their boundaries, per a WDTN story dated June 28, 2023. This includes Dayton, Fairborn, Beaver Creek, Oakwood, Germantown, Springfield, Kettering, Trotwood, and Vandalia. All of these municipalities restrict or prohibit the use of private fireworks. I spoke with Rob Anderson, the Fairborn city manager. I wanted to see why they do what they do and how they did it. They've never allowed for private fireworks because they have a public display and they're very sensitive to the veterans that live in their community because of their location and others who suffer from a multiple of disorders, including PTSD. They have some plats with small lots, making it hard on neighbors, and in general, it doesn't foster good community. He also said that commercial-grade fireworks right now are available to all. When the new ordinance was put in place, he only had one complaint, and that was from a fireworks company urging the city of Fairborn to lift the ban. He also mentioned that Clayton's proximity to Richmond, Indiana was a challenge for us because Richmond is known for selling fireworks. So when I give you this consumer new ordinance and you read it, you'll see that almost all of the ordinance is really difficult to enforce. Per the state ordinance, there are age restrictions, aerial device restrictions, a separation of distances between minors and someone else setting off fireworks. There's also an ordinance stating you can only have so much fireworks in your possession. You can't be using drugs and alcohol while using fireworks, and these, of course, are very difficult to enforce. So what does this cost our community, and not just dollars, but manpower, neighborhood harmony, and just general mental health? And I'll just tell you what it cost me this year. For me, 9 nights of fireworks in a row. No less than 5 phone calls post 11 p.m. to the dispatch police. I personally watched 8 children under the age of 15 on Ranch Hill running up and down the street one night, lighting off fireworks. And I have a pet, which many of us do, and he gets very anxious when he hears loud noises, and he hides under the bed or he does whatever. So I should not have to run a noise machine, medicate myself or my dog, as some people have said, you know, to the Dayton Daily News. I read an article, medicate yourself, medicate your dog, run a noise machine. I shouldn't have to do that because people in my neighborhood are setting off fireworks. Because we have a lot of ways to celebrate our independence. Amanda just told us, September 4th, we've got a beautiful public display. That should be good enough for the people in Clayton. So I urge council to follow the actions of many communities in our area, ban the use of private fireworks. Let's set a better standard for our community and a better example for our children. Thank you very much, and I'm going to leave this with you, Kenny. Okay.
Well, thanks, Deb. I know most of you, and I've been in this community obviously for 35 years. I'm going to piggyback on some of the things that Deb said, but I look at it from a business perspective. I understand the noise, and it's, look, 9 days straight, it's very annoying. But from your standpoint, our police and fire have better things to do than to go to some neighborhood somewhere because people are letting off fireworks. And these aren't fireworks like I grew up with, firecrackers and sparklers, and maybe you had you know, some of the other fireworks, but nothing at this level. These are public fireworks that are being set off in the middle of a street, and we literally watched young children doing it. I'm thinking, who's supervising these kids? If you're expecting people to do the right thing, they're not going to do that. So unfortunately, somebody has to be the bad guy, right? And leadership takes really tough decisions sometimes. But I think all I'm really asking is to confer with the other 9 municipalities that have banned or restricted this, because they do not seem to have the same problems. And it's only going to get worse, guys. It started really in 2022 when the law came out. In 2023, what do you think next year is going to look like? Or 25? What is it going to look like when you have kids who are running around letting off M80s 8 days after the 4th of July? It's a little ridiculous at that point. So, again, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to read down the names here, so if you want to speak, you come up, and if you do, please state your name and your address. Beth Kramer, I'm not coming back up. Sam Cox, Christy Cox, Warren Gardner, Susan Gardner, Tamara? Okay. Ryan Farmer? No, thanks. Earl Harlemer?
Earl Harbert, 6420 Levon Court. I'm your Parks Director. I want to discuss a couple of things that are happening. We have a wine and cheese, wine and cheese thing coming up. You can buy the tickets out here at this front day from Barb. It's $40 a person. It's going to be held at the Meadowbrook Country Club. It's 6 different wines, cheeses from all over the world, crackers, and hors d'oeuvres, hot hors d'oeuvres from the little store. It's going to be quite an evening. It's costing us more money than the $40, but we're throwing our money in to make it great. So the tickets are out front if you need to buy them, and it'll be a great evening. Amanda talked about the parks. We have this, it's on the golf course. It's the practice tees for the drivers up on that thing. The last time we had it there, we had 165 people sitting on lawn chairs, blankets, kids all over the world, are all over the place. They were playing in the sand dunes and all that kind of stuff before the thing, when it was on. It was a great evening. It was a nice, beautiful evening. It was nice. It was warm, but it wasn't too warm. And Englewood is so gracious to the cinemas to pop our popcorn. We did it for ourselves before, but now we got help. So that's coming up, and that's on the 18th.
What's the movie, Earl?
Huh? Yeah, that's the movie going on. That's on the 18th. The movie is Super Mario. And it's what they do is they bring this big screen and they project it from the back. And it's just, I mean, it's big and great, and it's a lot of fun. So, and then on the 3rd of September, we are going to have the fireworks again. Amanda told you everything was about it. We're going to cook 700 hot dogs outside on a grill. We're going to give you a hot dog, potato chips, water, snow cones, cotton candy, popcorn. You got 2 jumpy houses, and we do have them little things you put around the kids' necks so you know where they're at in the dark. So if you lose your kids, it's your problem. But anyhow, that will be a great evening too. The fireworks will last about an hour and 10 minutes. According to Englewood, they're lasted 40 minutes. So it's a great show, and it's a lot of fun, and it's all the big word that you see on television, F-R-E-E, free. And we like to have everybody come out and enjoy yourself. This is provided by these gentlemen and ladies up here, and we appreciate them, and we appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Kay Garrettson. Mike Mahocevich. Did I butcher your name? Mahocevich? Did you want to speak? Okay. Kathy Penfield? Josiah Mahocevich? Sorry about that. Dana York? Is there anybody that I didn't call that wanted to speak? Okay, thanks all for that. We step up, yeah, state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Todd Seister. I live at 5641 Savannah Avenue. I have a question what Mr. Henning referred to about denying Englewood the right to, or not the right, but to hook up to Elrue Avenue. Now, does that essentially stop any construction?
Let our city manager speak to it, but what I referred to is what the city manager said, we would have no interest in allowing the development to connect to Elrue, which is in front of the Penfield's house, we would have no interest in that.
I mean, asking whether or not it would stop that parcel from developing, the city of Clayton doesn't have any jurisdiction over that. That would be up to the city of Inglewood and their planning board. I don't know how open they'll be to developing it if they can't connect to Elru and make it a through street, but I don't know if they would never develop that.
That answers that. Thank you.
Basically, they can't cut through without our okay, is the bottom line, so, yeah.
That land's been there a long time in that condition, though, than Englewood, too. You lived on Savannah, sir. Do you back up to that plat, or that field?
Okay, thank you. So this moves us to the council and mayor's comments, and we'll start with Ms. Kelly.
I want to say thank you to Willie Williams and the Parks Commission for the dance party last weekend. It was a huge success. Everyone had fun. And thank you for Mr. Gorman and Dennis for coming in and supporting as council for the event. Also, congratulations to the Kramers for their VIP Beautification Award. And I kind of want to piggyback a little bit about the Poulises as well. I have the same thoughts, and I agree with them 100%. I think there's a time and a place and restriction that fireworks can continue. Unfortunately, in this day and age, it doesn't last just a certain amount of days. It goes on forever. And the time restrictions, too, as well. It goes on in Ward 1 to 2, 3 in the morning, doesn't matter. And then on top of that, I asked, well, Matt's not here this evening, but I would ask Matt how many animals were missing and how many calls were made regarding burns or accidents to that nature. So I do piggyback as well on the Poulises. I agree with them. That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Merkel?
Nothing to add this evening.
Mr. Gorman?
Yeah, I would like to, one thing we forgot to talk about at the meeting, the last couple of meetings been pretty busy, what was the shredding event that we had 3 weeks ago. It was quite a success. We had lines part of the morning and people consistently coming through. We had a lot of the staff there, and it was very successful. And other than that, I'd just like to have everybody be careful. School starts the week after next, before our next meeting, and the children will be out running around as they were when they shot the fireworks off. So just be careful for them, and be careful not to run over them or hurt them in any fashion.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Henning?
I also would add, to Amanda, if you wouldn't mind getting us Vandalia's firework ordinance, I would love to see what they have in place, and maybe also Fairborn, to see how we can replicate it. You know, if they are lighting them off in the streets and there is residue in the streets from that, we've just spent literally millions of dollars improving our infrastructure. I would like to see this come to an end, on top of everything else that the Poulos has stated. So I would love to see us maybe be proactive and do something similar to what Vandalia and Fairborn have in place. There are about a dozen residents here tonight who did not speak, but I did want to put on the record, I know they are here because they were against the development that is in Inglewood, but it's connected. It was planned to be connected through Elru. I know we've heard your concerns, and there's a lot of residents who aren't here tonight. As you heard from our city manager, we're against this development, so we'll continue to be on your side and monitor what happens with it. So thank you all for coming tonight, but since you didn't speak, I wanted there to be some type of record as to why you were here. I wanted to I thanked earlier the staff, Daryl and Randy, Jack and Daryl, who help with the yards that don't continue to have proper upkeep, and we have to pass a resolution to collect the taxes from those individuals. But I also want to thank Ben, who's here tonight, and his team that actually does the landscaping work. So thank you, Ben. We appreciate it, because the yards really do make a big difference after you guys take care of them. So thank you. And The back-to-school sales tax holiday tax-free weekend is this weekend. Any resident that may tune into this on Saturday, if you have to buy school supplies, you can get them this weekend without paying sales tax. If we could also make a social media post, like maybe Friday and Saturday, one to be scheduled out, I'd appreciate that. And then finally, there is a special election on Tuesday for issue 1. The polls will be open from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. At your polling location. If you can't vote early, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can't vote early Monday anymore due to changes to House Bill 458. So if you wait until Election Day, you have to vote at your polling location on Tuesday. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bachman?
Nothing to add tonight, Mr. Mayor.
I just want to say thanks to everyone who came out tonight. It's really good to have a crowd. We've asked people, tried to get people to come, and sometimes they come, sometimes they don't, but I'm glad to see everybody here tonight. I want to say thanks, like I do every meeting, to our staff. Again, these guys wear a lot of hats. They do a lot of good work, and I want to say thanks for that. Also, thanks to the council, and the same goes for these folks up here. They wear a lot of hats and are very busy trying to keep the boat afloat, so appreciate that. We do have the need for an executive session tonight, so I'm going to kind of, see, I think first we have to, I think, ask everyone to leave.
First, I need to
Yeah.
state the reason for the executive
Okay,
session, which is
okay.
pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 121.22G4, which is preparing for and reviewing negotiations and bargaining sessions with employees concerning their compensation, terms, and conditions of employment. And then we need a voice vote on whether or not to adjourn into executive session for that purpose.
I'll move for approval for executive session for the reasons you just stated.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Henning to go into.
Did you say short, Kenny?
I said short because the last couple we've been here till like 11 and Natalie's not been.
Motion by Mr. Henning to go into executive session, second by Ms. Kelly.
Short.
Roll call, please.
Bachman?
Yes.
Henning?
Yes.
Gorman?
Yes.
Burkle?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
And Stevens?
Yes. So at this time, unfortunately, we have to ask all the visitors to leave. Again, you can stay. We will reconvene to probably adjourn afterwards, but you're welcome to stay if you want. So again, thanks everybody for coming in. Thank you.
They started,
I'll move for adjournment.
Second.
Is there a motion to come back into the public session?
Oh, yeah.
So
For-
moved.
To move, to go back into public session.
Motion by Mr. Henning to come back into public session, seconded by Ms. Kelly. All in, or roll call?
Bachman?
Yes.
Henning?
Yes.
Gorman?
Yes.
Merkel?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Stevens?
Yes.
I'll
So-
move for adjournment.
Second.
Motion to adjourn the meeting by Mr. Gorman, second by Mr. Henning. All in favor?
Aye.